Hello everyone, welcome back to SaiyanSquabbles. I'm yours truly, Papa Ping Pong, here to bring you another deck battle. Today, a slightly more special and unique one, featuring the Frieza starter deck and the Vegito starter deck. So, my good buddy, once again, King of Music, is playing Vegito, and I am playing Frieza. So this isn't just we are running starter decks, we bashed two starter decks together to build the best starter deck we could. So what we came up with is what you're seeing, and these decks, this was our second game, are surprisingly powerful, just the starter decks alone. So you can technically go out right now, drop 20-25 bucks to buy 2 copies of the starter deck and make these surprisingly, again, decent decks, and maybe even perform decent at a tournament. But I'm running Frieza because green is not really one of my favorite colors, and he wants to try out something different, so he's trying out blue. So we're just getting both a little bit out of our comfort zones. But so he went first. He charged Krillin, and he played a Mai, which allows him to search top 5 for a Unison and or a Future Trunks, which he grabbed the combo one, and then he passed over to me. I charged a Zarbon, tapped one to play another Zarbon, which does basically the same thing that Mai does, except I can search for a Frieza's army with an energy cost of 4 or less. I think it's specifically green Frieza's army. And then my leader effect, I swing, and when I swing at a leader card, I can KO a Frieza's army to take a life, and then he has to discard 1 card, and then I simply pass it over. So these decks, these leaders are just really good. I think Frieza is probably the weakest of the 3 starter decks, but not by much. I think Vegex and Vegito are the 2 best. I don't know which one I think is better, and Frieza I think slightly lags behind. But really not, but really not by much. So he's going to tap out to play Gogeta Pursuit of Power, which is perfectly fine move. And he did swing at my leader, and I took it. He's trying to get quite a bit of cards. This Frieza actually draws more than I expected it to, because there's a lot of like discarding cards and stuff like that with this deck. But during our last game too, I had a huge hand, around 8 or 9 cards for almost the whole game. So he switched to the Mai to rest mode to get a marker, passed turn to me. I am going to play the Frieza Unison, the Frieza Zeno. So this one's pretty good. His effect, I can discard a card to draw a card, and that Dodoria effect allows, if he's discarded by a card, or if he's sent to the drop area by a skill from your hand, and you have a green Unison in play, and your leader's green Frieza's army, I believe, he is played instead, which allows you to basically draw 1 for free, and then you attack with Frieza to KO him. Then your opponent has to discard a card, and I take another life. So basically, I've just got a free +2, basically. So I'm trying to dwindle down his leader, avoiding KOing battle cards so he doesn't get to awaken. Because the Vegito leader, if you KO a battle card or send a Unison card to the drop area, he's able to be flipped over and draw 2 cards. So it's basically a free awakening. But so he takes, he's down to 5 life, and I pass it over. So that Gogeta Unison is pretty strong. The Gogeta Unison has it to where if there's blue Saiyan cards in rest mode and your leader card is the blue Saiyan, you cannot take damage from attacks. So I have to, like this Vegeta for example, now that the Vegeto's on board, his Vegito is basically free from taking damage, so I have to get rid of that Vegeta first. But on top of that, the Vegito has an effect that if one of his battle cards are KO'd once per turn, he can restand energy and draw a card, which is insane. And he took a life for the swing to swing at my Frieza Zeno, and which was really smart because he took a life and he gave it double strike, so I lost 2 markers. So I'm just down to 1 because I don't get a combo step. Unison cards do not get a defensive combo step, and he is swinging again with a Goku, and I'm like, you're getting pretty crazy here. He's gonna swing and take a life, so he's down to or does he not decide to take a life? No, he does. Okay. And bring him up to 15k, and I don't get a combo step, so it just goes to the drop area, which is a little unfortunate. We don't need the Unison card for this deck to run, luckily. The deck can do quite a bit without it. but that is a big crutch, or not a big crutch, a nice plus. So he swings at my leader, I got no negates, and he's able to draw. Just because the auto is when his card attacks draw one, pretty standard. And his leader has another effect that I gotta be very cautious about, so you're gonna see me playing around this quite a bit. For tapping 2 energy, it's an active battle, he gives a unison card plus 10k and triple strike, which is insane. So I'm down to 4 life. Those Ginyus I never ended up playing, so it's one of the things I may actually cut, or I would actually cut from the 2 starter decks. So I'm thinking about doing a series called, or not really have a name for it, but basically where I do budget decks. So like I take some of my favorite leaders like Zamasu or this Vegito, and I make decks that are either $25 or less that are sort of competitively viable, like can do well at tournaments, and you can get them for pretty cheap. So let me know what you guys think about that. But he's swinging at my leader, I got no negates, and he is just going straight into it, making it a 25k triple strike. I'm like, wow, okay. We're getting pretty crazy. And he goes up to 30k. 30k triple strike. And 35k. So I got a combo out of 35. So I go 20. 30. 35. So that is a misplay. I had to combo 5k more. I'm just a dum-dum, I suppose. I was thinking I was awakened for some reason. So he passes turn, but no spoilers, but I think I would have preferred to take that life anyway, so it's kind of against me. But I take it back because I just grabbed the wrong energy. I wanted to play yellow, so I tap a yellow to play Frieza's Call. So I do think yellow is good in this deck, like actually really good, but a small yellow package, and due to you running Unison, you never want to play or charge a yellow until turn 3. And 1 yellow is really all you need. So we play that Frieza, and we're going to swing at his... I missed if I swung at the Gogeta or the Vegeta. So he takes it, and he is allowed to restand and draw 1, which is a big deal. That adds up. But I tap 1 for Avenging Frieza, and I add another 2-drop to hand. Right? Yes, I do. And then I'm going to use the Frieza effect. So the Frieza effect's kind of insane. I tap 1 to play a 4 cost, and he's got no negates, and I use his effect to KO the Goku, which I think I should have actually removed a marker, because he's got dual attack, and I can either remove a marker from a Unison card or KO a battle card with 4 or less, I believe. But when that Goku's KO'd, he searches top 7 for either a Unison card with specified cost of 2, or a, or actually I think that's it, and add it to your hand. So I wasn't sure. I think I should have taken it off the Unison, now thinking about it, but I used my leader effect to KO Avenging Frieza, and then I choose 1 card in his hand, and he has to place it in the drop area. But unfortunately, it wasn't a very good hit. We just got Vegeta. But Vegeta can potentially steal games. But this Frieza has dual attack. So what you want to do is you want to have the Dragon Ball in your hand, the Parasitic Darkness Dragon Ball. Place it under the Frieza after these 2 attacks, and then you get to play the Xeno Frieza, the one you see in my hand, on top of him, getting you another 15k attack. So basically, off of 2 energy that I used, I got like 3 pretty powerful swings, plus I got to KO/remove a marker. And then Frieza, if I wanted to, I can KO that, or my leader effect, I can KO that Frieza, and then make them drop a card from their hand. Also, when I make them drop a card, they, I give my Unison card critical, but I don't obviously have a Unison on board. Dropping the card is not mandatory, of course, it's just obviously recommended. But he charges the Mai, blocker. And he is going to use the once per turn unison effect to stack a unison and give it +1. We're just setting it to warp because none of these decks run Overwhelm, and we're trying to keep it as clean and nice looking as possible. So I'm still trying to play around this triple strike, because triple strike obviously is dangerous. So he's just going to be applying a lot of pressure. This is a lot of pressure for a blue deck. So I'm really excited to build it myself. Or not exactly this, but my own spin on it. I'm thinking about doing almost a red-blue Invoker, but we'll see. So he does combos Future Gohan. I didn't realize how good the Future Gohan was in this deck, which I'll explain in a second. So I do combo out, because again, I am in triple strike range, and he has a lot of cards in hand. So I want to be very careful. But he does play the Gohan in rest mode, because that Gohan is actually from set 2, and has an effect that when you combo with it during, I don't remember if it's just during your turn, but if your leader card is blue, he is played in rest mode. Which means now that there's a Saiyan in rest mode, he cannot take damage due to that Gogeta. So I think the strat against this is to really try to just take out that Gogeta as soon as possible. So he does swing at my leader, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm willing to take this triple strike at this point. I am willing to take it, but he does not go for the triple strike. He does not proc it, I don't think. So I do combo out of it, because I'm like, next turn he may triple strike. That is a very, interesting way, like a very, very interesting, I can't think of the word, but I have to be very careful, I suppose. And it's a unique way blue plays, because triple strike is a consistent threat. And Vegito draws so many cards on top of having to KO stuff, so the best bet is to just remove the unison, I think, which I didn't really think about from this session of playtesting. But definitely I'm gonna, like, I think that's a good focus. But I swing to his Gohan, because I gotta get rid of the Gohan anyways. Luckily, I do have the Parasitic Dragon Ball in hands, and so I can do the big play. But I tap 2, go into the Frieza. I'm asking for a response, and he's got no response. So I will swing into the Gohan, because quite frankly, I kind of have to. And he doesn't negate any combos with Gohan, so he gets another Gohan in rest mode. And that is why I think it is important to pop the Gogeta, because of stuff like that. So I tap 1 to use the Frieza effect to play a 4-drop, because it does come in active mode. And I removed a marker from the Gogeta, and I am just gonna swing into it. I'm trying to remove it so I can just start dealing damage. But he does negate, but he's running out of cards in hand, which I'm trying to keep note of, because I don't think I've used my Frieza effect to KO yet this turn. A lot is happening, so I apologize if I'm not keeping up very well, because there's a lot I want to talk about, because this is all new stuff to me too. But I use the Parasitic Ball effect to place it under, to play the 4-drop Frieza Powermonger Zeno thing. So he's got Deflect and Unique, so I can only have 1 on board. And it's basically just a 15k swing, and when he's KO'd, I can choose an extra card with an energy cost of 1 or less from my drop area and add it to my hand. He also has an active battle for 3 green or 3 energy, 1 green. He gets 10k in double strike, I believe. But I make him discard a super combo, so that was a good hit. And then I pass it over. I knew I couldn't kill him with just 2 life, so I was trying to get rid of more of his board, since I think I already gave him the draw and restand. I don't remember. I'm drinking agua. Agua is muy importante. So he's tapping 2 here. Or he's not gonna tap 2. What's he doing? He's gonna probably dig for some cards first. Probably try to put me in triple strike range. Which again, I don't have the cards in my hand to survive, so I have to be careful. So I don't think he combos. I think he's waiting on me here, and I'm like, all these things I really want in my hand. I want to be able to search for a 2-drop Frieza next turn. I want to be able to potentially steal the game with the Dodoria. I want to have the Frieza Zeno to go into the Frieza chain. So I decide the Dodoria was the best choice. I got no negates from the Gohan, and he does not combo. And I keep debating to get rid of the Parasitic Darkness, but I don't. I get rid of the Zeno this time. So he's going to tap 2 to play the Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, and now luckily I don't need to worry about the triple strike, so I can take this damage. But he is a critical, unfortunately. So, I don't think did I misread that? Is he only a critical if there's a blue unison on field? I believe it's if it's as long as you have a blue leader, but oh well. Even if it is that way, we're just making it harder for me, making it more challenging. Alright, so we're going to tap 1 to play the Zarbon, hopefully get something good. We don't find what we want, so I was debating between getting Zarbon, but I want to be able to try to steal the game this turn. And I'm going to use Leader Effect, hopefully hit a negate. Put that in the drop area. And we get rid of a Gohan, which is 1 less swing potentially. And I'm like, I don't think I can really kill him this turn if I miss with the Dodoria, so we're just trying here. So he does negate with Whis' Coercion, and I'm like, alright, what do we get? We get a Shocking Death Ball. So that's 2 negates that I've had in my life. And I swing, and I draw another negate. So at least I have quite a bit of defense next turn if I don't survive. Or if he survives, which he's going to, because this is my last play for the turn. And then I pass turn, I believe. I was debating as to whether or not to grab the Dodoria from drop to try to maybe go for a game with him, but there was no way, so I was like, okay, we will just pass turn. So it depends on how things go, because he's got a small hand, but he's able to get quite a bit from his leader swing, and if I KO something with Shocking Death Ball, he can restand and draw a card. So he does play Krillin the Cunning to draw a card. And he's going to swing at my reader. And I do negate. And I was going to KO the Son Gohan, but I forgot he's at 3-drop, so I KO the Krillin, which I don't think I should have done, because now he's able to restand and draw 1. I just didn't really think about it. Neither of us thought about it, because I catch it here in a sec. I'm like, because he just played the Vegeta, and then I believe I bring up the fact that he didn't restand 1 and draw 1. So it's something you guys got to keep in mind. Yeah, this is when I catch it. Because before I was just going to take it and not worry, but I'm like, oh wait, he can still go for the unison this turn because of that effect. And he's like, oh, you're right. Trying to be fair. So he does crit a super combo. And why is Zarbon so thick? But, he does go for the unison. And he swings, I do negate. He swings, I got no response. And he doesn't combo, I don't think. Oh no, he does. He definitely does. So he did technically have to tap 2, but it didn't matter. He had game anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed. A little bit of misplays, but I hope you guys understand with new decks and everything. But once again, hope you guys enjoyed. I will be announcing a giveaway once again this week. So stay forward to that, or stay forward. Look forward to that and stay tuned. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day and are staying safe. See ya.